Well, good morning, Jagender Rana here. Topic for our discussion today is education and training in insurance. Education and training in insurance. In this fast-moving world, where post is sent through email and business is done through internet, it's very important for us to sit back and dwell for a while on the pace we are keeping with this world. So what is more intriguing is the formation of Insurance Regulatory Authority. It's almost 3 decades of the nationalization of general insurance industry, and it is high time we reviewed the achievements of our industry and the steps that can be taken to enhance our progress further in competition to the upcoming private sector making head in this industry once again. So at the time of nationalization of the industry in 1971, there were 108 insurance companies of different hues and colors, mostly concentrated in the urban centers with a total premium of 105 crores. Today, the 4 nationalized insurance companies are set to complete a premium income of unending amount by the end of the current year. So this is a 100% increase of premium in less than 3 decades of nationalization. There is a network of more than 4,000 offices throughout India. There's also a formidable pool of skilled manpower, both technical and marketing, which is the envoy of the developed nation. However, in spite of these developments, one considers that insurance awareness is low. It is because of the restrictions imposed on the industry for advertising, the need for training of the personnel in their respective fields to achieve prompt and efficient services from the industry. And the need of the hour is the training of our field personnel as well as the in-house personnel. So recently in an in-house program, it has been introduced in the industry whereby the eligible and qualified employees are given training in the technical aspects of the inspection of the claim and assessment of the loss without the help of independent surveyors up to a specified limit. Involving the industry employees will certainly create an interest in the ongoing process of the claim settlement and eliminate the possibility of malpractices also. Thus, by providing training in the technical aspects, also the employee is made aware of all the aspects of the coverage to enable him to do justice to the insured, rather than relying on the judgment of the independent surveyors. This is definitely a very encouraging move on the part of the industry to upgrade its client service. The general insurance industry today has nearly more than 200 policy products covering all the spheres of life from bullock car to satellites. But only 30 to 35 products are actively traded in the market. Even the educated and the elite are not completely aware of the range of the policies available in the sector. But the concept of customer satisfaction is a relative and subjective one. If an attempt is to be made to quantify the level of satisfaction of consumers, we have necessarily to take recourse to physical parameters relevant to the purpose. In the general insurance industry, the physical parameters related to the customer service are documents, issuance ratio and claim settlement ratio. So how many documents does the industry issues in a year and how many claims does it settle? The document issues ratio is over 90% and claim settlement is about 75%. So this level of performance is quite favorable as compared to the international experience. Moreover, there has been an increase in the amount paid out as incurred claims, which means more and more money is being paid back to the customers than before. So considering these factors, the general customer satisfaction level in this industry is certainly of a very high order. However, there is no denying the fact that the satisfaction level can be improved. This is because it would be impossible to achieve 100% satisfaction level. There will always be scope for the improvement. So this is the point where the training of our people in the various fields will allow them to go gain an insight into what is going on in the entire process. An agent is the person who brings business, but how far is the agent aware of all the policies that are available in the insurance market? So whether he is guiding the insured about the nature of the policy and the scope of its coverage is highly doubtful. So this is a major drawback in the industry. Lack of awareness among the field personnel has made most of the customers discern insurance policies. In most cases, disagreement arises between the insurer and the insured because of the non-fulfillment of their mutual obligations under the contract. So one main reason is the archaic legal language used in the policy. The language used in the policy conditions to be simplified, made more comprehensible, and to be laid out in the vernacular wherever possible. So the computerization of the industry is near complete, but the staff has not been able to utilize the machines to its most capacity due to lack of adequate training in the respective fields. At this critical point of time, when there is every threat of the private sector ready to grab the Indian market, it is high time that the credibility of the industry could be reshaped on the whole. At present, insurance industry is on the threshold of liberalization, and for this, the Indian government has also enacted an act to make the Indian market open to private players. So major public sector banks have announced their decisions to enter into insurance business. The LIC and GIC are bound to lose a major share of business to banks. But this is again a good sign. There is a recent trend of downward revision in fire and marine tariff. In fact, the tariffs have been discontinued by the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority. So the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority should lay down certain basic guidelines on the general functioning of the companies. They have to equip their offices with latest technology so as to create a modern outlook. Each and every client must be educated about the policy that is covering and the terms and conditions of the policy. Issuing a document is easy, but making the client aware of all the conditions of the agreement is hardly done by our people. So the consumer forums have been set up whereby the aggrieved customers can have redressal of his grievance. But how many of these customers are aware of these forums? The setting up of consumer forums has aroused a considerable interest, especially among the influential clients. But these forums do not seem to have understood their role correctly. But it is hoped that as they also gain an experience, they will understand their role in the proper perspective. So to render effective justice, the consumer forum should be assisted by an expert in the relevant field in deciding the disputes. So there is a recent trend of downward revisions in tariffs. Though computerization is near completion, modernization of offices with latest equipment and furniture is hardly thought in. Most of the offices are still using the outdated machines, which creates unfavorable impression in the minds of the customers who will be treated to the highest of services and technological exposures on entry of multinationals in the fields. So there is every need to educate the client by way of conducting more of such seminars and get together. Such seminars could be a meeting place of all the clients under one roof to create an awareness among themselves regarding loss prevention measures. These kind of seminars will also enable them to train their own staff regarding the loss prevention measures. So with the clearance in the wake of liberalization of insurance, there is a need to protect the right of policyholders, and rules and regulations must be framed for its effective implementation. The RDA must formulate the accounting principles to be adopted by the private sector. The RDA also hopes to promote its products on the internet without having to be supplemented with the paperwork. Thank you. Thank you very much.